Sarah. Hey, do you know what? Are we just going to whisper the whole time? We're going to whisper. If you guys can hear us, because we got a boo-boo-zella, we're going to whisper and blow out your eardrums later. No. Okay. So. Oh! Guess what? You know, we do a thing on Tuesdays.
What is that?
We do a podcast or a live stream or a television show, a variety hour. I don't know what you want to call it.
No one knows, actually.
But it is called Topless Toy Talk, if you're not familiar. And do you know what today is? Like, specifically?
Sure. It is August.
Oh, God. Anyway, so you're wrong already. Today is, yes, it is August 11th, but
Yes.
it is episode 52, which means this is 1 year. This is our 1 year
We have been
episode.
doing this for 1 year. We haven't even missed a week because that's how much we care about all of you.
So, welcome to Topless Toy Talk,
Yes.
episode 52. We are your lawnmower podcast for the Cybertronian era. And today's tagline was brought to you by Plastic Spark.
Thanks, Plastic Spark. That was the one that made us laugh the most. That's how you win this game.
Yeah. But in celebration of episode 52, I'm going to play a song.
Yes. You must have been an absolute nightmare as a child with like a recorder. I just have to say.
You can expect more of that throughout the show.
Yep.
Now, what do we do?
You now say that you're the host.
Oh, hey, guys, guess what? I'm the host.
And
I've been hosting for 1 year.
And I'm your better host, and we're happy you're here with you.
I should have blown up balloons.
Oh,
I can still do it.
No, you can't. Who do we have?
Okay, we're gonna try this. If you want me to blow up balloons, like put a balloon in the chat, and I'll go get some balloons and blow them up right now.
All right. Well, I suppose that's a good activity for you during a live stream. The chat was really wild. Like, I mean, we started off strong here tonight. We had multiple people hours ahead of time. This is now clearly a game, right? Of like who can be first.
Yeah.
And Fanboy, you didn't disappoint. Well, I mean, you kind of disappointed, but I get the joke because you're in Ohio, we're in Iowa, so you have to talk about Idaho.
GoBots, they're not GoBots, they're Transformers.
Because also nobody knows the difference between those states. And, you know, I mean, you just went really deep with this. GoBots versus Transformers. It like hit all the things.
A straight up troll comment right out the gate.
Yep, I like it.
Yeah.
2 hours ahead, troll comment. If Rob was my big spoon, I'd be a squirrel too. That is fantastic.
Yeah. Danny, I hate to say it, but Fanboy Prime beat you to it this week.
Yep.
Sorry. Yep, week 52. Also, we have the infamous Somebody's.
Hey.
AKA Wolf Chaser, AKA whatever.
I just like when people have like 12,000 names because
we know 2 of them.
Yes.
Yeah. The thumbnail for this looks like someone slipped a thumb somewhere. I hope it was where I think it is, and that's right here pointing at this guy.
Yep. Something like that.
Thumb stay above the table. Austin!
Hey.
Whoa. And this was me.
Yeah, and you misspelled a lot of things. It's fine.
I know, whatever.
It's fine.
I was trying to hurry through it.
I know. And we also have Webby.
Austin again.
And Austin again. And again and again.
Yeah, and the Webby.
Hey.
The famous Webby. How's it going? How's your mom doing? Let's see. Please smash that like button. You know, we never say that, but you know who does? Webby, and we thank you for that.
Yep. Real MVP here.
Are you welcoming us, Danny? Thank you.
We're welcoming you.
Thank you for that.
And then we have Flip, who you saved here with what did you order 2 of?
Insecticon 4-pack.
Yep. So,
oh, hey, if anybody is looking for the Hasbro Pulse exclusives and they don't want to buy them from Hasbro Pulse, let me know because I had an accident. I wish I was the very first. What?
You were in the very
yeah.
You could have been.
Yeah.
You could have been.
Yeah. LOL, lawnmower. Yep, I know.
No, oh, sorry. Flip was in the very first episode. Yeah, because we did it on TikTok on the clock.
Yeah.
That was the first episode.
Yeah, don't ruin it.
I'm trying not to. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Do you even know who our pilot person was? No.
Yes, I. Oh no! It wasn't in Tick. Well, our first pilot was with.
Yeah, stop saying
with
those
Johnny.
weird beats.
Sorry.
Those weird beats. Those weird words.
Sorry.
We don't like that. The Tick. Yeah.
Yes.
This okay. We'll talk about him here a little bit later after we get through this. Let's see.
Man, you guys are. Hey,
JMJ, what's up?
Oh, I'm glad.
Yeah,
I'm glad.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. And now we're done. So we'll see you guys later. Clearly, nobody wants me to go blow balloons.
Nope, nobody cares about your balloons, so that's fine.
I was really excited.
I appreciate that nobody.
I was really
into that
excited
foolishness.
to blow up balloons.
So should we introduce our guest?
I mean, that's your job. I don't care what you do.
So we met our guest at BotCon in Chicago, and he's a big personality. And I'm not even joking. After we met him and we did our interview with him, Rob and I looked at each other. We're like, this dude's got to be like famous or something, right? Like, what is going on? Like, this is somebody who has like done a lot of things, and I just want to say this is somebody who's lived many lifetimes, a true Renaissance man who has done. I don't even know how to. I struggle with this introduction because he has done so many different things. So I will leave it up to him to introduce himself. But
that's your job. Your one job.
I know I do have one job. But it is the one, the only, Dan Gottlieb. Boom.
I can't hear you.
Oh, you can't?
At all? Nothing?
No good. I can't hear you.
Oh, no.
That's not. Did you turn up your volume?
I can't hear you.
You got to turn up your volume. Can anybody hear us?
Oh, bongos?
Nope.
We didn't even think about it. Oh, hold on one second. Let me try something.
Let's try
what about now?
Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But you could hear us before.
It's no good.
You could hear us before.
Let's see. What do we do, guys? Hold on. So we're going to.
I'm looking.
Edit. Make sure. So. Yeah, I think this is the option.
We're gonna remove you.
I think this is the option.
We're gonna kick you out.
And then he has. Did you say join back?
Did.
Okay. All right. Well, while we wait for Dan to join back, I'm gonna play the Vuvuzela.
Because we do actually test this. I know that this feels like a little crazy, right? People come in, go in, join in, what have you. But we will have Dan here back in a second.
But hey, Justin.
Justin.
How's it going?
I also really like Justin, like just Justin. Like the name, the alliteration.
What about now?
I don't know if I've said this. Can you hear us?
Yeah, technology works.
We did it.
Now you get none of this goods. Nothing.
So Dan, tell the folks who you are, as many personal details as you want, mother's maiden name, grade school, last 4 digits of your social, just like the important pieces of information people may need to know.
They like to hide 3-digit codes on the back of your credit cards, and those are always good little tidbits.
Let me get my wallet. So my name is Dan. I'm very old. Basically, I worked at DC Comics back in 1992 as an intern, and I worked in the editorial department with a legendary guy named Neil Posner, who unfortunately had passed away. He worked in the submissions department, worked with him and Bob Harrison editorial, and I learned all of the trades from everybody, because everybody came through the office back when DC Comics was in New York City. And, one of my art tutors that I had received was because of my time there, and that was Mike Mignola, the creator of Hellboy. So to have resources like that available taught me a unique perspective about the industry. And I worked with a lot of other people as well, including Joe Quesada, Jimmy Palmiotti, people who just basically were, at the time, I didn't realize were pioneers of that era. And so I spent a lot of time working on and off in comics, doing background work at DC, as well as designing kites for Toy Biz back then when they used to do the action figure line I don't know. I had a certain flair for designs that looked very good for tattoos back then. They thought that translated well for kites. So I did that for a while. I got injured and took some time off and then left. And then more recently, I got injured again. It seems I'm very accident prone. One of the reasons why I'm not so prone to show it is I'm covered in scars, like literally all over. But yeah, I ended up leaving and people were yelling at me saying, what happened to you? So the first thing I did was I wrote a book called I Am Omega, The Beginning of the End, which is about a renegade angel who's just basically had enough. And I thought about it. I related to my life at the time. I just sort of had enough with everything. Oh, there it is. And it became a bestseller, did well. And we are working on a second book, but like most things, I get very distracted. And people from the 90s had yelled at me and said, why aren't you working on your original concept, which is the Cosmic Misadventures of Galaxystar? And Galaxystar is basically everything stupid I could think of thrown into one book. Although Sarah reminded me in one of our last iterations that I'm not as stupid as another book. So, but either way, you know, Galaxystar is a labor of love, and a lot of professionals have joined me on this task, which has been really great because and a lot of people who've been watching my series on Instagram, and thank you very much because the views have been massively high. We are finishing creating the Absolute Batman piece, which I'm going to let you in a little secret. It is the official print for Tucson's Comic-Con, Tucson.
Oh.
So
Yay.
we just found out today we are the official print of the show. So people can come get it from us there. Me and John will be at the show, which is pretty amazing. The fact that I have such an amazing industry professional who's been working for 30 years. That's how long I've known John, 30 freaking years in the industry. And John's been working all the way through. Me, I'm just the hobo that you're stuck with. Sorry.
No, not at all.
But the good news is that, and here's the sad news. I got very good news this morning, which I can't share. But I will tell you this. It is Transformers related.
Yay.
We like other things besides Transformers.
Yeah, but honestly, come on. Seriously. I got stars.
But it
Yeah.
does look like we're making some like connections here within the chat. We have a school friend here.
Yeah.
Tio Michael talks.
Michael Acevedo and I worked together in a group called Council for Unity, which was a group that helped negotiate gang wars and racial equality across the board in the school systems. Back then, it was a much smaller portion of schools that had it. Now it's 112 chapters strong. And Mike and I became such dear friends because of that, because people can put their differences aside and enjoy each other's company.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. I'm telling you, like every time you open your mouth, like
I'm just like, how have you've lived a lot of lives.
There's just so much more cool stuff that we find out. And I know you claim to not be like this super famous guy,
but
I'm like,
you're kind of, yeah.
all I'm saying is there's something suspicious going on.
Yes.
I tell John that he's the talent and I'm the drinking buddy.
That's kind of our situation too, is except she's the talent, I'm just the drinker. No.
A lot more prettier than you are as well. Sorry.
Yeah. You gotta have something. But
you got a lot going for that tie, so I'll give you that.
Fancy.
Yeah.
We like to start it off by asking also our guests, like, what was like the thing you had? What was the toys you had as when you were growing up? Was there any sort of toy line? Was it Transformers? Was it Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Like, what got you into sort of this nerd realm?
Great question. Because, and I'm revealing something that's really diabolical, but I think every kid's done it at one point or another. During Christmas, my dad was really good at picking the right toys. My mom, terrible. You know, bless them, they're gone now. But I found out that I had Skywarp waiting for me at my closet upstairs that was hidden away for Christmas. I saw it. So whenever they would go out, I would take out the box and play with it and put it back. And then when Christmas came around, I was like, oh, you got me. It's amazing. And luckily all the pieces were still there and all that good stuff. But yeah, my very first toy, believe it or not, that was besides Godzilla or anything else, was Skywarp from Transformers. And then, funny enough, my Aunt Rose, who was this elderly lady, sweet lady, she was the type of person that wanted to offer everybody food. So she'd take out a pancake, it'd be covered in syrup. She'd go, "Somebody ate this! I hate wasting food!" And she'd be flicking syrup at everybody. I'm like, "Put it down, we'll take it on it." But she got me the Talon Fighter from He-Man, and it came with that cool record back then. Oops, sorry, my thing was alerting. They got me, the Talon Fighter. That record was awesome. It played everything, and He-Man was my big thing. That I got most of the figures from He-Man. I have to change angles because it seems that my battery is not going too. This is just technical.
We're gonna have all the tech problems.
Right.
It's fine.
Absolutely, man. It
This
doesn't
is
want
why
to say what I'm going.
I would say I started doing this at 4 o'clock so I can fix all my problems.
Unfortunately, my cable's only so long. Okay, we're back in business. Yeah, sorry about that. My very fancy, elaborate apartment behind me.
No, I love it. You have a lot of interesting things that appears on the walls. I was going to ask you what you collected, and I feel like it's behind us here.
Well, it isn't. It isn't. I have this rule that my apartment should look like an apartment, but my collection should be a collection area, and it should be very much composed. The rule I had at BotCon, which I'm sure my dear friend Cheyenne could tell you about, is that it's got to fit inside of a case, and if it doesn't fit, or if it kind of overflows, I've got to sell it or get rid of it. It's sort of like a rule because, again, if you really want to appreciate your collection, you need to have a certain area dedicated just for it, so you can really enjoy it. You can take it out. You can do what you want with it. I mean, I'm loving these new. Again, you see, I have Starscream here, and the fact that I was able to get it on Hasbro Pulse, surprise, blew my mind that I was actually one of the first to actually get one. And it's a great toy, although extremely fragile. But yeah, I've also got here Bruticus, which is missing his Swindle, which is supposed to be coming soon. Stupid. They should have released him first, then Onslaught. But hey, they can do. But yeah, behind me is all the movies that inspired me for my creative world. So. And this is, again, it's going to sound like I'm name dropping, and it's not really meant like this, but when I was 21, I was dear friends with somebody called Sunita Henry. Sunita Henry was in The Fifth Element. She was 18 years old. She played the president's assistant in that film. And Sunita went on to do many things. And like I said, time passes, you lose track of things and whatnot. But Sunita, I was playing Dead Space 2 of all things. And all of a sudden, I hear a character in the game go, "You cost me an eye, you bastard." And I'm like, "That's Sunita Henry." So I found her on Instagram. I said, "Sunita, was that you?" She goes, "Oh my God, Dan, where the hell have you been?" And I was like, big hugs and kisses all around. She's been working on numerous. I said, "Well, you haven't made it unless you get on Doctor Who." She goes, "You're an idiot. I was on the time of the Doctor." And I was like, "What?" So yeah, I have films behind me that inspire every part of creativity or people who mean a lot to me. So that's the story.
Actually, I really like that. We have stuff on our walls, and it's not very inspiring. It's just stuff we've done.
I also think you should maybe consult. I'm just saying there's somebody right here that you could consult with on how to, confine your collection to a smaller space.
Every day, I keep trying to figure out, how do I refine. And then Hasbro makes something else really cool. And I'm just like, guess I'm buying that.
Yep.
Well, Rob, I mean, look, there are times that I completely get it. I mean, originally I wasn't going to get that many figures. And then I said, well, I was always inspired by the Transformers from '84. So I decided to get all of the '84 re-decos because they're such better quality. You can pose them, whatever it is. And then I realized they made all of the movie characters, which I was a huge fan of Galvatron. As you know, I've done my impression many times when I was at BotCon. And I said, oh, well, I guess I'm going to have to get those, 86 characters as well. And before you know it, you've got 3 shelves, so you have to be careful. Plus, I've got Fortress Maximus at the top with his Master Sword and all these. good things. And I'm running out of room. I mean, now I'm friends with Power Rangers, so they're signing helmets. I'm like, where the hell am I going to put this stuff? It's like I live in New York City, even though I don't live in a closet like it's rumored. I actually live in a decent sized place, but what are we gonna do? So yeah.
I have a few Power Ranger things as well. They are just in the back room, not displayed, because I'm not sure where they go.
They've never made it out.
I'm just like, well, now that I put the other shelves out, maybe, but like, I have a backlog of Transformers. I'll probably take them all up.
Yeah.
The
thing is like, you have to pick it. I mean, honestly, when I was doing the character acting for charity, I had tons of costumes. I still do. And that takes up room,
Oh, yeah.
I think the only thing I have left is the helmets. I have an Iron Man helmet, I have a Cap helmet, and I have a Stormbreaker, which that thing's ridiculous. But it's like after a while you have to kind of pick and choose your fandom, or else either one or two things happens: you run out of room, or you go broke. So I'd rather keep my money. Yeah, which
that was a question. I was having a hard time phrasing this question, so I'm going to attempt it right now, like right and live here. But is doing some of those different costumes, like, was there anything, when you're dressing up as some of these superheroes, like, what is that like? Do you have unexpected reactions from folks that you wouldn't anticipate? Like, because I would imagine for kids, there's like, oh, but do you get razzed by like dudes? Do you get hit on by like ladies? Like what, or vice versa? Like, how does that whole persona work itself out?
There's a couple of funny stories with that. So I was in a very serious relationship from 2015 to 2019. And I met her because I was asked to be the Captain America for that particular they were releasing like the King's Arch shield or something. So I had to go in there, and I had this very officious looking suit because we were building, our own suits at the time. And, I was telling jokes, and I was getting the old side eye, where I was like realizing, hey, she actually finds Captain America kind of cute. And lo and behold, we ended up having a very serious relationship. And funny enough, we left on good terms, but it was like one of those things where she and I would actually get into more costumes. But, that's how it was. And the funny thing is that when I was getting into that level of shape, because you cannot fake looking like Captain America, even though, there's some padding, you have to be at that level. That white banded middle, well, you look fat even if you're like a pound over, So I literally was working out to a point where I'd show up and I'd look like Cap. I think the only difference is because I have green eyes, And I had one point we did this fair for kids, and I had a bunch of girls in the corner that were well underage making moves, and I was like, whoa, no, we're not. No. You'll live your fantasy somewhere else. That's not going to happen, So yeah, it gets a little wacky, and sometimes people take it a little too far. I did a Good Morning America spot, and there was a bunch of situations there. And I'm not saying I'm any prize, but I guess it's the costume, because suddenly your shoulders are very broad. You look, And I hate sounding like I'm bragging. I was officially Captain America's trade show Captain America for 2016 because we were the only person that made an Age of Ultron suit that was film accurate. We had the shoulders, the shoulder bells, the magnetic shield. I learned all of that basic science. I learned how to make the diameter of the shield work with a neodymium magnet. And so I went on the show and I clanked my shield on my back, and everybody's going, all of a sudden like, hey, you want to friend me on Instagram? And it's like, sure. I don't look at it as and I appreciate cosplayers. I think they're some of the most talented people out there. We do it for character acting, and the reason why I got into costuming is simply to help charities. When I did Captain America for the first time, I was asked to just come down because I had a good-looking shield, not because I had a good-looking costume. So I built a whole costume to visit the kids. And I will tell you, the people who do it and the people who help me with it are a godsend. They are people who are the salt of the earth, some of the best people you'll ever meet, because it takes a hell of a lot to do that type of work. When you deal with a girl with stage 4 cancer, and you can't tell her that she's going to get better, but you are there to just try to make her have a good day. Right. It's a heart wrenching. The first time I did it, I bawled my eyes out.
Oh yeah. I might cry right now
So,
just thinking about.
Well, because when you did the charity, do you want to talk about like what charities you did that for? I don't know
Sure.
that we talked about that
I
here so
worked
far.
for 3. Yeah, I worked for 3. The most current, though, is the Fallen Officers Fund, the PBA. And sorry, I just looked at the comment. I was like, what? Yeah, I got associated with the Fallen Officers event 11 years ago, where a guy, Mike, came down, was trying to score points with his boss. And I didn't realize his boss was the commissioner of police for New York City, which is the biggest thing. And because, again, we had filmed accurate costumes. When we came in, the first time we did it, I was Captain America. We had Wonder Woman and we had Batman. And when we did this event, they told me, they said, a kid who's there just lost his dad. He literally, you know, and mind you, I'm very lucky that I didn't lose any parents young. I did have a lousy childhood, but at least I had my parents. These kids will never experience that. Mm-hmm. So that tugged on my heartstrings. I said, let me know. We'll come down. We took no payment. We did nothing, because sometimes we charge to do events and whatnot. But we did nothing. And when we arrived, the first thing I did, I believe the kid's name was Gabriel. And he was there by Santa Claus, because it's always around Christmas time. And I came down the stairs as Captain America at the height of the popularity. This was 2016. So I came down the stairs and I said, where's Gabriel? I have a mission for this young man. Where's Gabriel? And lo and behold, this kid saw me. His eyes lit up. Drop Santa. Dropped his kid cane on the floor for him. And right away, this kid came up to me. I kneeled down to him. He sat on my knee. We talked for a good, 20 minutes or so, took some pictures. And he kept on looking at me. And I would always come over and wave at him and make sure that he felt like he was supported, at least for that day. And I realized that was what I wanted to do. I wanted to continue doing events like this. And more people knew that we were taking it to that next level, because my buddy Mike Ring, he actually works at Marvel Studios. He would get me information about costumes that were industry secrets. So I would kind of have the inside nudge to know what to build to make it look the way it does on film. So we were creating stuff that the kids saw and believed that those characters really were who we were portraying to be. And that's why when I showed up as Iron Man and my suit's on, you hear sounds underneath it and panels are moving. The kids were freaking out. The adults were freaking out. It was a lot of fun. And we always had somebody, we had Disney princesses, we had Spider-Man. Yeah, I have to have Spider-Man. And we worked with a number of hospitals across the board in Princeton, as well as Robert Reed, I believe it's called. And then we also did a lot of work in Jamaica. And the reason why I bring that up is because Jamaica is an area that's sort of on the fence of being underprivileged, underfunded. And you don't get visits like that. So we deliberately said, no, screw that. Why did these richer hospitals get better treatment because of their demographic? Screw that. We're going to go to the places that kids need this. And it made all the difference in the world.
That's really awesome.
I'm just going to cry now.
Yeah, I know. You do
I'm a very sensitive
It's
individual.
not an emotional show. Get it together. Get it together, Rob.
I'm just like sad stuff, happy stuff. It all makes me cry.
I know.
Just
We went and saw Spider-Man last. Well, we went and saw Spider-Man last week. This man. So
I cried in the new Spider-Man movie twice, at least twice,
probably 3 times. And I'm a little misty-eyed, but I am definitely like the strong. I'm like more of the strong person. This one is.
In my defense, though, like Spider-Man is kind of like my superhero, right?
Yeah, I know. So. I know. It's a good movie.
But it was good.
Well, I'm going to be seeing it this Thursday finally, so I haven't had a chance. I've been too busy. But here's a good piece of news you'll appreciate, Rob, is that this year again we will have a film quality level of Spider-Man appearing for the kids this year. Every year we update the suit, we make sure that we always have Spider-Man.
I mean, there's a ton of suits that they have made, so that's like some work. That is not a easy task.
They're very hot, and I want to put that out there, especially in defense of the cosplayers. They go to such lengths to look like their characters and really enjoy themselves, but they're suffering in those suits. I mean, I can tell you, anytime I've worn a costume, 3 hours is the absolute most you can do. Oh yeah. Thank you, Blue Destron. I appreciate that. Yes, Walter Reed. Well, it wasn't a military hospital. It was actually the children's wing in New Jersey and Princeton. So it wasn't a military one, just to make that clear. It was many years ago, so you have to forgive me. I've done so many that I lost track. But yeah, you can only wear the suits for 3 hours. If you go beyond that, it actually gets very unhealthy because a lot of the suits have pumped in, circulatory water vests, and we can't really do that. In fact, I forgot the actor's name who plays the Vision, but he is suffering in that costume. And they have a tube going down his leg because there's literally water being circulated through it. There's nowhere to breathe. I mean, when you're covered head to toe, your body, I mean, I could tell you I've come back to my place. And at the time, my girlfriend, I was walking down the stairs and I fell down the stairs because I had no energy left. Well, my hydration was sucked out of my body, but I would do it let me fall down the stairs as long as I don't break my head open, but I'd do it any day if I could.
Yeah, I imagine that especially probably the more film accurate you try to get, the more difficult they are to wear for, any more than like a couple hours. It's just
a lot of people seem to misunderstand that costumes versus film accurate suits. Film accurate suits are made for a particular scene, and then after that, the suit is discarded or used for something else, and those suits fall apart really quickly. And we have the same problem. A lot of our suits fall apart. I've had it happen numerous times where I actually did the Marvel shoot, which I'll share with you guys the video later. But I did the shoot, and my back, they call it spats that are around the feet. It completely blew open, and we were holding it together with safety pins all the way up the back just to kind of make it look normal. And that's why they shot the scene from very far away, because we did these promo videos. But yeah, a lot of the costumes, I think I was telling about the Jason costume. I did a Jason Voorhees costume for a fan film called Friday the 13th Lost, which is on YouTube. And the suit was made out of 1,000 glue sticks. How long do you think that's going to hold up?
Oh my gosh.
So yeah.
I mean,
yeah. And to answer Coffee at Joe's, yes, you are starving your body of all oxygen when you are wearing those suits. Captain America, you've got a rigid resin helmet on top of your head, so all the heat's going right into the helmet and feeding it right back down. I put a maxi pad inside of my helmet to absorb all the sweat from going into my eyes. It's an old industry trick.
I'm going to be honest, that's really smart. And
you are always
I am a sweaty individual,
and
it's all just from the top of the head too. It's just
Well, Rob, next time I see you, better be wearing a maxi pad on your head.
I mean, okay, so we don't do this for charity. We do it for our own pure entertainment. But during the Christmas season, we dress up as I dress up as Krampus,
and I dress up as some form of a lady Krampus, mostly just a cute version of Krampus.
And we have a little winter market that we go to, and I terrorize children.
By terrorize, you mean we hand out. So the best thing to do when you're dressed up as Krampus and you're around children is you give, if there's a group of kids, give all of them a bell except for one, or no. Wait, no, amazing.
You give them all coal.
We'll give them all coal except for one, and give that one a bell and say, "We heard you were the good one," and just watch the fight ensue.
It's genius.
Awesome.
The parents often get upset, and they're like, "No, that is not the good one. That is absolutely the worst child here." So
you do well at picking out the worst. It's always the middle one.
It is. It's always the middle one.
But no, so it's it's a pretty big, kind of.
But you're sweating so bad.
Mask and fur pants and stuff. It gets a little bit more elaborate every year.
I'm just gonna slap that whole.
So I'm just pat the whole inside up, and it'd be done, sold.
Yeah, but if it gives you that minute of validity to that character, who cares? It's worth it.
Yeah. I don't know. I do it for 5 hours, so it's ridiculous.
So,
but it's not nearly screen accurate. It's not screen accurate.
This one has never been to New York, and he's always been talking about going and doing the Spider-Man tour. Have you ever done any of those, the superhero tours around the city? I'm just curious.
Again, it's very hard to do that stuff because if we damage our suits, could be hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to fix them. So a lot of the times it's not really smart. When I wore the Iron Man suit for a hospital visit, one of the shoes broke. Literally clean broke off, and I had to jump out of the suit at that point because then, the illusion is gone. You see my sneaker underneath it, and it doesn't work. So I quickly jumped into my Stark outfit and put on the chest thing and had glasses. I always have a backup just in case. But yeah, we don't take those chances doing those type of things because again, you can really. There was only one time we did a special event for a kid where I had to be in the suit for 5 hours. On my birthday for another kid.
Oh no!
And I was at the end of it, I was and I felt so disgusted. It was just the grossest thing in the world. But we do for art,
Oh,
This
Before we jump into the wheel of questions, should we do a shout out here to our Patreon real quick?
Sure, if you want to.
Okay.
Oh wait, real quick, actually, because you always forget this. My
Oh.
my real quick to you, real quick.
Yeah.
So we have this thing in the
Oh,
upper
yes.
right or left corner, right corner. I can never tell if it's flipped or not.
I think it's right. I think it's the
yeah,
right corner.
it's right. It's the right corner. We have the right thing in the right corner.
Yes.
And if you're not familiar with this, it's called a QR code. And what happens is if you point your cellular device at it with the camera, it generally should pop up a link, and it allows you to do something fun, which is to bring up a website for Dan.
Yeah.
And so this is going to hang out here during the show if you didn't realize already. But scan that, you scan it and scan for Dan, and it will. I know, yeah, I know.
I like that.
I know you would. So it'll take you to his website, and you can check out his cool stuff. And if you forget, I'll remind you later.
Yes. At least 3 times.
I really have to update that.
So we will do a shout out here to our Patreon real quick.
As I say that, boom, get rid of that. No,
I'm gonna bring this. So we have a Patreon called The Body of Official Bodies, the Boob, and we have some very special people that have
they're super
that are
special.
that are
They're
supporting
the specialists
us.
of the specials.
But our Body of Official Bodies gets you fabulous things such as drunk dials, which Fanboy Prime's drunk dial I think went for 5 hours on Sunday. It was really
I'm all for
long.
that.
There was a connection issue, so we had to call back a couple of times, and I promise it wasn't that we were hanging up on Fanboy. Like there was something gone on the Wi-Fi, but it became
I think the
like
other
this
4 hours established that.
The other 4 hours established it, but it was a
Sure it
good
was.
time. So drunk tales are part of it. We have so Fanboy is part of our Ultimate Body Club.
Thank you very much, Fanboy. We
Yeah, so
appreciate
thank you. We have our Bougie Body group. So we've got TF Toy Pics, who takes fabulous pictures of Transformers, and Blue. I thought it was Blue Dustron.
Oh, did I load the wrong one?
You messed
Okay.
you messed that up. I don't know who that is.
That's Blue Dust, yeah.
Yes. So
There's 2 names.
Blue Dustron, who we met at BotCon, are part of the Bougie Body Club here, and then we have our extra basic bodies. We've got the crop modification.
Don't worry, it's cursive.
Who-
Nobody knows.
Who is letting us? I know nobody can read that.
I can't.
It's a conspiracy to make us not be able to read original founding documents and historical documents. Then
I'll scrub it.
the crop modification, who lets us use some of his music for our intro, and then we have Dave Wonder, who streams at least 3 times a week, goes to all the conventions in the Midwest, and is just generally like the guy everybody should know. If you don't know Dave Wonder, you at least know somebody who knows Dave Wonder. He does a lot of cool stuff, including raising money for charity. So he does that every year, and I feel like that's coming up here real soon, his 24-hour live stream.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. So if you would like to join, there's a QR code.
Yes. We have some legitimate
We
stuff
do.
we send out.
Yeah, we
have...
You get a welcome package, which includes honorary copy of Grave of the Fireflies, and also also includes a copy of Big Gun Stupid Rednecks.
Yeah, we got a couple copies of Big Gun Super Rednecks.
Signed
if you're
by
still here. From Austin, but some of our favorite people, we purchase their items, throw them into our monthly giveaway to send those out to all of you. So,
but we appreciate everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
And now for my favorite time of the show, which is the Wheel of Questions, which you are very familiar with because you got the Wheel of Questions in real life.
I got such weird comments after that as well.
That's all I could hope for.
Keep going for a second.
So while Rob is doing whatever he is doing here,
I'm trying to find.
I know I don't know what you're doing here.
There's too many tabs.
You're throwing me off with what you're doing.
You think with all these shows you guys have done, you stop having all these technical problems.
There you go.
Hello.
I know.
I loaded up something different because for my rant. And
I
that's the whole
know.
problem.
I know. So we do have a much wider wheel of questions here. We've got a couple more. Some of them are catered to you. Some
They're
of
less
them
inappropriate, I think.
Well, I don't know.
No, I don't know.
Some of them might be a little questionable. In a zombie apocalypse, are you the leader, the hunter, the scavenger, or the person who hides the bite mark?
I'm probably a Rick, you know. I'd be walking around going, Carl! actually, funny enough, I did cosplay as Negan, so
Oh.
I did walk around
Very cool.
going, "Are we wearing pee pants?" Do declare, I went into it, the whole thing. Yeah, I got to do that bounce, really. Back when Negan was cool. Now it's just, I don't know what's going on with that show. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to, and this may sound, I guess I have a lot of free time on my hands. I have thought about the zombie apocalypse and how I would.
I mean, who hasn't?
Yeah, exactly. What, or how the world might be better if it was a zombie. I don't know. But no, I would definitely step up and make a plan. I'm not the type of person that sits back and goes, okay, well, the world's over. Let's have a party. No, it's more about, I've always been a planner. Everybody knows this about me. I'm a planner. I'm a person that never has to scavenge. Under more recent circumstances with the letter C, I had plenty of food. I had plenty of toilet paper. I was fine, so I was the guy that always provided.
I mean, I would always like the end. If there was a zombie apocalypse, my fear is like I could definitely scavenge. I could do that sort of stuff. My problem is I don't have stranger danger. And so I would be the person that would be like something bad would happen to me from like the alive people. That's how that would work out.
Great.
As long as we're both alive.
Oh, sorry.
I was
what?
gonna say you're saying you're the liability is what you're saying.
I am.
She's
I'm 100%
liability.
liability. Like, oh, these people are fine. We should come bring them in. It'll be okay. And you'd be like, absolutely not.
No. As long as we're both alive, it would work out okay because I would be like, no, don't go talk to those people.
And I'd be like, no, it's fine. You can come join us.
I'd be like, no, they're going to murder us and take all of our things.
Yep.
Are you the type of person that sees zombies goes, can I pet that dog?
Yeah, you definitely would. She'd be like, no, I think we can cure it. She'd be like, I think it's okay.
So I'd be the guy behind you going, let me give you a little push.
Right.
No, thank you.
What was it, John Bivens, and he said that he would just
he'd
trip people and like run.
It's
Like,
fair.
it is
It's
what
fair. Gotta know who you are.
Yeah.
I got no shame. I'd live.
I know.
But there'd be a lot of other people that
Probably wouldn't make it.
would not.
A lot of people said to me I should wear the Captain America suit if it happened. I'm like going, you crazy? Like, what are you talking about? Use the shield, knock zombies away and stuff like that. So that we still have a chance. It's very patriotic.
I mean, in all honesty, in the event of a real zombie apocalypse, like we're all toast.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's all done.
There's no way.
Well, unless
Great way to bring the room down, Rob.
I'm just saying, like all the kids in their brain rot, they're all gone first because they won't look up from their phones.
The thing is,
and then we'll have all of those running around all nice and limber because they're young and they're going to take out everybody else.
You just got to get on a boat on a large body of water. That is the only trick you've got.
That's not true because
unless they can
there are some zombies that can walk underwater.
Well, but can they swim up? Just get on the Great Lakes or the ocean. You'll be good to go.
I watched a Romero movie where they went from shore to shore, and
I don't think they'd survive the Marianas Trench. All right, so
true. He's got there, although it would contaminate the water supply. But I would say a large factory complex that's near a gas station would be very beneficial, as long as things are being conserved. Because a lot of those places, my father used to run one. And they're 2 levels underground. The doors are cast iron. Nothing's getting through those doors. And frankly, the bunkers are usually underground. So unless they're digging their way through the sewage like they did in Resident Evil, which is highly unlikely, you're very safe. In Resident Evil.
It all depends on the type of mutation. Can they carry rocket launchers? Can they climb on ceilings with giant?
Look, we just said zombies. Let's not take it to the next level. Thank you very much. We don't have.
We don't have to go that nerdy.
So the problem is, like, when you ask these zombie questions, you need to specify if they're just like normal zombies or at least the rage zombies, because that is like a big difference.
Okay. All right. Fine. Fine. I will get way more specific on this.
Yeah. Just one or the other.
Well, I will say the zombies from Dawn of the Dead remake were pretty terrifying. The fact that they would sort of see you and run, that's absolutely horrific. Especially that first scene before they get into the mall. That's why I was engaged, because it was like, okay, we're actually doing this, and it was actually a cool concept. The windows, the doors, shatterproof glass, that's preposterous, but Oh yeah, I just shattered blue grass. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, it doesn't work like that. But you know, the idea of there being something that can evolve and get progressively worse and more terrifying is, you know, that's the true apocalypse. But happy times.
Yeah, that remake, I haven't watched that one in a while, but that is one of my favorite zombie movies. I think they did a really good job with that one.
Yeah, they had a lot of emotional beats, a good cast, a lot of hidden talent in that film, which was surprising. Of course, there's the usual goofiness that happens with a lot of these zombie films where somebody does something absolutely ridiculous, like the preacher who liked wearing women's shoes and stuff. And
There's always that one.
yeah. Or the girl that wants her dog back in the middle of the zombie apocalypse. Like, really? You're not getting your dog back. You know, that's all there is.
No. She'd be the first one to go in this household.
Sorry, Penny.
She barked at everything. I'd open that door. If I saw one, I'd open that door, be like, "You be gone right then."
Sorry, Pen.
I won't even try and save you for food.
We will do. Let's see.
Let's see what.
Let's see what our next question is. Now that we beat zombies.
I like talking about zombies.
What's your biggest irrational fear? Quicksand, Bermuda Triangle, the dark,
shadow people.
Yeah, shadow people, aliens.
Funny enough, I'm the type of person that saw a ghost, I'd knock the shit out of it. Like I would run after it. You know, that's stupid. Like I'll you know, like no, I'm gonna haunt you back. I'm sorry. But no, my fear is actually something that was unlocked by playing the game Subnautica, which is thalassophobia. That's the idea of being in deep water without being able to touch the ground. Because when you're in such an environment where you can't see below you and you know there's something really big down there and you don't know where it is, that stuff scares the living bejesus out of me. My father was a scuba diver. He worked in the Navy. He actually was in submarines during the 70s. He was during Vietnam and all that stuff. And the idea that he wanted me to try diving, I thought, oh, that was great. And I was always fascinated by water. Like I actually started as a marine biologist, funny enough, where I would study the humu trigger figures. I can't talk. The humu trigger fish, Hawaiian fish. And they're very beautiful. And I wanted to go learn more about them. And then I realized I had to go into water like that. And when I tried to go in, I was starting to freak out. And I saw that stupid film Alligator, where there's an alligator in a pool and there's blood in the water, and they drop a kid in the water, and then that kid is toast because you can't see what's down there except this murky, bloody water. I'm done. Yeah, no, thank you. I will not do that. So diving in deep water won't happen. In fact, I'm so stupid that even in pools, I can't be in a pool alone half the time. It drives me crazy.
So you remember?
Don't laugh at me, Rob.
I'm not. I'm just like. I don't know if I have like if that's my biggest fear, but like I'm laughing because I'm like, yeah, like if I get in water where I can't touch the bottom, I kind of start to freak out a little bit. So it's more of I can relate to it. Laugh.
You can't relate.
I'm just like, oh, I've been there. I know what that feels like.
It hurts, man. Mocking my pain.
Do you remember that? What was that like rickety little submarine that those people went on to go see the Titanic, and then they went.
Yeah.
Do you remember? And their steering wheel actually was, and it was some sort of like game controller.
It was a video controller, yeah. And the thing is, this may surprise you, but that's actually common. A lot of those controllers I actually used, because a lot of those things are digital systems anyway, and they're guided. But it's just more about the fact that they didn't have any redundancies in place. And what people don't seem to understand is that is so unexplored that there is just. The fact that they're doing tours is moronic because the pressure level alone, if anything goes wrong, that's it. That's it. You're done. I've studied all of that. I find the deep fascinating. Like I said, I would never go anywhere near any of that stuff. But learning about, and people don't even realize the size of some of these things that are down there, that there's actually secondary coastlines built by brine that are in there. It's fascinating. Absolutely terrifying. In fact, NASA, I believe, used to study the water, and they said, we'll go to space. It's easier because that's how terrifying it was.
It's actually very funny.
That's why
I'd rather go to space than the ocean.
I mean, I don't know. Do I believe that there could be some life out there in the solar system? Maybe. Do I think it's intelligent? I don't know. But I'm actually much more likely to believe something lives in the ocean that's intelligent that actually could be like alien life than about anything else.
I more so believe that we are the unintelligent,
We probably are
you
the
know,
dumb ones.
the species of what exists here. Like, I feel like everything else is way more advanced.
I'd like to speak on that actually, because I think that the problem with humanity is that we are doomed to repeat ourselves. That's the reason why we fail. Not because we're stupid. It's because we don't learn from our old mistakes, because we are perpetually doing the same thing over and over again. You know, people don't realize that we had a major pandemic, you know, what was it, 2020, and we had a major pandemic in 1919 as well. And, you know, it's like one of those things, you know, and this happens every 100 years or so, where life has to kind of reset itself and, you know, do things to kind of protect, you know, it's called population control. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, you know, and we have to be ready for those changes. But the problem is we never learn from those changes we have to make to improve our life. And it's like, we have scientists, we have brilliant people, and we just aren't using what we have to fix it.
Well, and so like you're touching on some of my favorite subjects. So like World War I, wild time. Like, yes, there's so much that happened within that time period. And like one of my like favorite family stories is that my great grandfather, he enlisted in World War I, he and his brother, and then he got the Spanish flu, so he was deaf. So my grandmother was always talking about her deaf father, and how like the thing that like still got her up until the day she died was that he never heard her or any of her sisters' voices, because he went stone deaf from the flu. And I know it says nothing to do with toys, but it's like, yeah, you have like these things of like the pandemics and all of this. Like, I know you're laughing at me, whatever.
No, I'm not. I'm laughing.
Okay, you're laughing at somebody else. Okay, also fair.
I see Fanboy trying to bring us back to toys with the Taco Bell.
But no, it does. Did you watch any of like the Graham Hancock? Do you watch any of his like things from he did several like short documentary series, or they were history things, not documentaries, on Netflix, and it was talking about how every basically 7,500 years like things repeated with history, and there were 7,500 or 14,000, I forget what it was, but like there was some sort of time frame where basically everything got wiped out and like humanity reset.
Well, I don't really watch documentaries, but I tend to read more about actual books about this stuff. I'm really boring. This is where the geek part of me comes through, because I have this conversation about weather all the time, where people say, "Oh my God, it's so terrible this year. It's never been like this before." I go, "Well, actually, you know, in New York,
the Dust
especially,
Bowl was a thing."
What's that? I'm sorry.
The Dust Bowl was a thing.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I tell people about like this past year's weather, 2025, 2026, and they say, you know, oh, it probably won't be so bad with the global warming. I said, true, but it's still going to be. And they're like, how do you know that? In fact, I go, well, 10 years ago, it was the same thing. 2016, we had a major blizzard that hit at the same time. 2006, we had the highest snowfall in Queens in 2006. In 1996, we had a blizzard so bad. What happened? Oh, there I am. You disappeared completely.
You are still disappeared. We can hear you though.
Oh, is my face that bad? Okay, am I back?
Nope,
you're just a black screen. Maybe.
We've had more technical problems during the course of the show. I don't know what happened. Do I have to log out and log back in again?
I'm saying I know one way that'll definitely fix it.
What's that?
Yeah, if you log out and log back in, I think it'll sort it out.
Be right back.
Okay. Well,
that
occurs. I'm going to talk about this stick figure here for a hot second.
Let's do that.
So, I took some pictures with it the other day.
Yeah.
And it's made by the same people. Well, Big Bag Workshop, Fresh Monkey Fiction, whatnot, right? Like, that did like the Krampus figures that I have, like the one Santa and whatever else. And so I set my expectations kind of like on par with those, and they're not bad figures by any means, but The articulation isn't like over the top or anything, and they're kind of a little stiff and their wrists are a little loose type of stuff, but they're fun, right? They're fun little figures. And so when I pulled this guy out of the box, like I kind of moved him around a little bit, and I was like, this is probably the greatest things I put my hands on in a while. At least since last Saturday. But
Okay. Can you see me again?
Yep.
You're good.
I'll sort it out.
You're good.
And
So
so
weird.
I'm gonna finish my little tick rant here real quick. So if you have not picked up this figure and you are interested in the tick, like I would grab it before it's gone. I don't know. I think once the mass word gets out about how great it is, like it's not like you're not gonna find it anywhere. And
I'm glad you brought up the tick, by the way. Red Anvil, the people who publish Galaxystar, the tick is featured in the War of the Independents from Red Anvil.
oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why I'm bringing it up.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
cool.
watching it. I'd seen episodes of the cartoon, but I had never watched any of the live action, and so we're slowly working our way through that because it takes a really long time to go through all of the. Yes, we did blow. So Dan blew on the cartridge, and he's back. So
Hello.
hello.
I mean,
fanboy, I have to say, Rob, you
That's
have a
really
lovely
inappropriate.
big blue tick. I can't stop staring at it. I would like to put my hands on it.
fanboy, I would love it if you could put your hands on my tick.
Oh, this
Leave
is
you two
such
alone.
a great. This is such a great stream.
When are we going to talk about the RC picture that you're going to draw?
Yeah.
I keep
Well,
harassing
when you see
RC.
what I'm working on that's Transformers related, you won't care about that.
Okay.
Okay, we'll see. No,
But still though, come on. I'll see the boobs.
we'll see. We'll see about that.
Well, if you saw my
So-
new Transformers stickers, the
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Soundwave.
That sound was fantastic.
Shockwave.
Yeah, it's so,
So
good.
good.
You have a really great art style. I really like
Thank you.
the way it works, especially with Transformers. It's just I don't know. It has.
I like to. Sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna say I think I can't remember if I said this before, but like I think it has like a little bit of kind of like that old school like Mark Watts like kind of look to it just a little bit. So it kind of brings like
Actually, yeah.
kind of like the original G1 box art to like kind of a new modern type era, and I don't know, it's really cool.
Well, that's nice of you to say. I appreciate that because I think that I'm not a natural talent. I really have to work at it to produce what I do. I don't know what happened before BotCon. I guess I was really inspired because all of those covers you saw that I did, I really did all of them that same month to get ready for
wow.
the show, and I've never done it before. In fact, I have some of them here. Like this Megatron, for example. I did this so fast that I was just kind of like, I just got inspired and kept going, and I did 9 of them. Which to do Transformers, people don't realize the perspectives have to be correct, or else you just don't believe they exist.
Yeah.
And the new piece I'm working on, it's a shot where it's actually under, where the character is almost shooting at the camera type of thing.
Oh,
And it's very intense looking. Hopefully, because it's going through approval right now. And if it makes it through that, then I can talk about it. So,
well, I just wanted you to know I approve. I approve. So
Knock on wood.
I don't know what other
Appreciate
approval you need, but no.
well, no, it's appreciated. Just so you are aware, I have 2 things on my bucket list, which I think I might have told you guys off camera. One is to do Transformers art that's being published, and one to do Transformers art as a voice actor. So I'm in the process of getting that ready. Tony Daniels, who's the voice of Drift, he was on Cyberverse as Teletrain X and a few others. He's actually recording me in a week or 2 for our animation reel. I wanted to bounce off of Susan Blue when I was at BotCon, and she said, "You have what it takes to do this. You just have to get the right
That's real cool.
contact," and I do. So I'm hoping
That gives
and
me
praying
chills.
that I would do.
Who
If I came back artist and a voice actor, that would be off the chain. So yeah.
Well, I
She's
mean, you
so-
clearly already are both of those things. So like, it just you know.
I like, well, and for Sue Blue to say that too. Like she's such a sweet lady too.
How much did you pay her to say that?
I
Did
love
she-
that lady. I wanted to take her and put her in my pocket. Sweet.
I
Yeah.
know.
She's
You know,
adorable.
She
We're-
not only was she just the most gentle thing, it was her birthday that Sunday, and a lot of people don't realize that she was the mother in Friday the 13th Part 7. She got stabbed through the back twice in the film,
Oh.
one in a dream and one in for real. And I actually had with me a Jason Voorhees face without the mask on that I drew, and I finished it up, and I realized it was her birthday, and I brought it over, said, "Sorry, this brings back bad memories, but," and I gave it to her, and she goes, "Oh my God, you handsome little creature, come here," and she gave me a big hug, and you know, just was wonderful, and you know, totally told everybody that, you know, I should be doing this. And she's people don't realize Susan Blue not only is the voice of RC, but she's an established voice director, as well as the director of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Beast Wars. She did all of that. She's responsible for that amazing voice acting on new animation at the time, which now is dated, but the voices still hold up.
Yeah, yeah. No, she is a crazy person and has done a lot of stuff. Like it's every time she talks, I see her in a panel, like it just surprises me and all the things she's done. But no, we chatted with her for a little bit too when we were there, and well, it was more for this one talking to her about growing up on a farm.
I know she grew up on, well, she grew up on an acreage.
But-
It's fine. I don't judge like an acreage versus a farm. It's okay. But we talked about horses.
Not everybody
and
can
I
live
know,
in
not
Iowa
everybody
and
lives on a farm. It's fine. But she was she was very wonderful.
Yeah,
So
she was amazing.
if you could voice like any character, Transformers, or I guess
anything.
otherwise, like who's your like top 3 or 5 that you would want to go for?
Well, there's a few. Yeah, for sure. I think I did 2 of them for you at the show. I like Shockwave because he was in the cartoon, at least in G1. He was very dispassionate, always very factual, and he was the real second in command of the Decepticons, because you have Starscream constantly going, you know, "Me as your new leader," and you're like, "All right, calm down, buddy." But meanwhile, Shockwave is like, "Commander Megatron, we are out of energon cubes. You know, the space bridge doesn't work." He would tell him all the stuff he needed to know that was actually important. So having that sort of logical sort of sound, and I don't know where that tone came from. I forget the actor's name, forgive me. But you know, the fact that he was always very mathematical was kind of cool. I like that Peter Cullen did not just Prime, but Ironhide, because Ironhide was this sort of rowdy sort of character. So I would do an Ironhide. I would love to be like, you know, "Come on, Prime, we gotta get going. You know, those Deceptor creeps can't seem to handle it. You know," and definitely have it step in. I did do my David K. Beast Wars impression, which I think is not. You should really kind of not do that, because I think when you copy another actor, you're kind of diluting what they are, and you're not really, you know, I mean, like, it's not really. But I did for Susan Blue. She said to me, "You can do Beast Wars." I was like, "Yeah," you know. Of course, I'm out of water, but Inferno aid quick strike. Yes, the Predacons will rule. You know, you have to get that. You know,
That's
that
very
voice
good.
to it.
That's very good. Yeah.
But again, it's a copy. You know, it's like I would rather do somebody unique, or, you know, create
Right.
my own character. You just have to kind of feel out what your character is supposed to sound like, if he's roadie sounding, or here's a really funny story. I was that same friend of mine from London, Mike, who was actually auditioning for a character as a Londoner. He's a Brit, giant Brit guy, and he's from Salisbury. Now, I don't know if you know anybody from Salisbury, but they talk a lot like that. Their voice is very intense, and it's very sounds like there's marbles in the mouth, you know. And I'm like, "You sound nothing like a Londoner." He goes, "Well, you're an American. How would you know?" I said, "Well, when you listen to somebody from the South, their voice drops and it becomes a lot more Cockney. And if you go to the North, you sound a bit lighter, but you're also, you know, working man. You're doing like as Jason Statham, you know. But then if you drop right in the middle with that very comfortable, very elegant sort of sound, people fall in love with you, and you're a Londoner, you know." And he goes, "I hate you." You know, it's just understanding dialect, paying attention. You know, whenever I go to another country, I try to pick up the differences. It's the same thing in the States. John Livesay, who inked my stuff, John is from Detroit, Michigan. So I'm sure you guys can appreciate when somebody says, "Hey, Dan, let's go get some sody pop." And I'm like,
Right.
you know, Pat. And I'm like, what? Oh, soda. You know.
So something that I've heard is that like regional dialects are sort of going away, as like they're not what they used to be. That like, how do you feel about that? And do you agree? Is that actually happening, or is that?
Yes, it is. Because I'm one of them. I grew up in Brooklyn, like the heart of traditional Brooklyn. So when I grew up, I would talk like this. Oh, you want to go get a cup of coffee? Huh? How about some freaking clams? Okay, no problem. We go down to Brighton Beach and we got everything. And that's exactly how I would sound. And my father went, no, we're not doing that. He wanted me to have a good job and he wanted to make sure I spoke well. So he started teaching me Shakespearean English. So I was saying words. Of course, you get your ass beat, of course. But, you know, I would say things like, a modicum of snuff is most efficacious. Basically, it means a little bit of cocaine is real good for you. You know what I'm saying? But that's by learning Shakespeare, I learned what's called common speak for New York. And that's why I sound the way I sound. But yeah, I had a horrible, when I'm really tired and I say I want a cup of coffee, it'll come out like, can I get a cup of coffee? And I go, Brooklyn right there. You know. So yeah, it is going away. The more you especially, and this is gonna sound a little strange, but as long as you are seeing the world, I think too many people are very regional, and I think they need to see more and learn more. And more you do, the more you find those things fall away, and you pick up more from other places. And hopefully, if you're absorbing the culture, your voice will relate that too.
I don't know.
So you're saying I should leave Iowa?
It's probably not going to happen. I got you to leave for 2 years to Eastern Iowa, and then we came right back to Des Moines. That's all.
Wasn't as dirty.
It was.
If you love where you live, that's fine. I mean, New York has been home for me for almost, 50 years. And I grew up in Brooklyn for 20 years and 30 years in Queens. And I've lived in all over the city, and every part of the city is beautiful. You know, people will always find ways to bash my city, but I'll tell you something, you know, you can see beyond that and what people bring, the culture that's from the area. And it gave me a perspective to enjoy other cultures, because New York is basically everything coming together in one place. So that's why I love it so much. Would I stay here forever or retire? Maybe not. You know, I might move. I was actually debating on going to UK, because I found out after a DNA test that I am a Brit. So, you know, I would actually consider that, because when I did visit, it did feel like a second home. Although I will tell you, the food is terrible. Real bad.
Too funny. Too funny.
Put some salt. Use salt.
So next year,
I think we're gonna do.
We've talked about this, but we might try to do New York Toy Fair.
Yeah. And TF Nation in the UK.
Oh, the UK. I was thinking, yeah, TF Nation UK, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
If I can get on a plane and get out of this country.
I know.
I don't know if they let me out or back in.
Definitely will not let you back in. No, you're very motion sick. So I just don't know how. I don't know how an 8-hour flight or 6 hours, whatever that is, to get. I don't know how that would settle with you.
You want to combat that, not to interrupt you, but you know, to combat that motion sickness is that you have to sit towards the front of the plane. It means getting the more expensive seat. I noticed that when I got Premium Select last time I flew, I had points and I used it. What a different experience. I didn't feel sick at all. In fact, I was able to rest. I think being in the back of the plane, the vibration is too much on you, and it actually messes with your equilibrium. I also make sure I book a flight that is deliberately overnight. Because to London, it's like literally 10:30 to 10:30. And so when I woke up, I felt mostly refreshed. My time differential was still off, but at least I wasn't jet lagged.
Yeah. See, my motion sickness. So once I'm in the air, it's actually usually fine. Like my motion sickness occurs like before takeoff. So it's like toting around, you know, the runway to get ready to go. And I think it's mostly due to not being able to see like the horizon, like see anything, right? So it's I can't see where we're going, and so like my brain just breaks.
Yeah, so we're trying to figure out with like Legion's Con, because we're doing that in November in New Jersey. Like
usually I just have to like bake time in, and I just get wrecked, and then like, I'm fine the next day. Is what happens, but I don't know.
Well, you should also make sure you have a meal with sodium as well.
Yeah,
because you find the things. Electrolytes are important also. you know.
My trick is usually like if I can take like Dramamine to make me drowsy enough to then just be able to sleep right away, like. But it's like, noise canceling headphones against like a
This
window
is a
seat
health
where
podcast.
I can press my head against the coolness of the
I
plane
think-
like helps, right? Like airflow like is usually what helps a lot too.
It sounds like you're covering the problem and you need to deal with it directly. So stop making excuses. What am I, a therapist? Knock it off.
Actually, the thing that has helped with my motion sickness the most recently, so I got the PSVR 2 headset, and I was playing VR games a lot more, and that did help when I was doing that frequently. But it's like if I wasn't doing it like at least 2 times a week for a couple hours, it just kind of
You're
reset.
done.
And so I don't know.
Mhm.
So maybe like before we get on a plane, I'll
You
just
just-
really ramp up the VR like video
Play
game
40 hours a week of VR and see how it feels.
and like see how it works out. I don't know. It's
Whatever
the
works.
weirdest thing. Like, and the older I get, too, like the older I get, the worse it is. But like, I don't know. It's if I could just wish any ailment whatever away, like it would be motion sickness, because I think it would be fun to just like hop on a plane and just go anywhere at any time, but I can't without
Mhm.
just like being sick for days.
I know, honey.
So
Let me ask you a question. How old are you, Rob?
how am I?
You're
41.
41.
Where am I at now?
You have no
41.
reason to be complaining as much about flying at 41.
He was.
I'm not saying that you mean. I'm not saying that you mean. It's just that you're right away. I think you're creating almost all of them, a lot of them in your head at this point, because you think it's going to be bad, and it ends up being
Well,
bad because.
so
but
that
I'm much older than you are, and I actually did have my eardrums rupture once from flying, which was
Oh,
a
wow.
horrific experience. My ears were bleeding because of the pressure of flying between time zones too much, and my
Wow.
ears took three weeks to heal. Everybody sounded like chipmunks. It was the weirdest thing. But I realized it was my fault. And the number one thing, which people always find surprising, is another reason why people don't believe my age, is diet. You got to change your diet before you fly as much. Diet is everything.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I think I've only flown 5-ish times. But no, I do get myself amped up a little bit about it.
And it's been a long time since we've actually never flown together.
No, we haven't. You
So
just
I'm
wait.
like, I'm super nervous
You're-
about it. This like fall is going to be a disaster.
It's fine. It's absolutely. Don't worry about it. It's no big deal.
I think
In
well,
in 2022, I flew 26 times.
that's so wild.
Okay.
It's so crazy.
And
Like I think
it
about
was-
that, and I'm just like, ugh.
But as I moved further up into the plane, even in comfort, made such a big difference because of the vibrations and the differential. It's huge.
Yeah.
It will make you feel better.
Yeah. Well, we'll try.
Well,
it,
maybe we need to bump up our flights then.
I'm always down in any type of like remedy or logic. Like I'm always down to try it.
Yeah.
Let's do another non-flight, not motion sickness wheel question. We'll see if we get. I did put a couple on here that were specific.
This is why I said
I
if
know,
you have
I know,
good
but I
ones, you just want to
well,
ask.
I
You
tried
should
to
just
narrow
ask.
it down a little bit, but
I know you
I
want to
like the
reinvent
wheel.
it.
I like the wheel.
I'm not saying that we can't keep both.
Is there a specific moment that you remember, but history says didn't happen? Do you believe in the Mandela effect or any of those things?
That's a hard one. I don't honestly know. I mean, and mostly, again, I'm boring because it deals with weather. I mean, because people keep saying to me that it doesn't snow in New York at a certain time, but I actually have kind of corrected them. Back in the 80s, when I was a wee lad, we had snow like you wouldn't believe very early on, in December. And people say, because now we don't get snow at all in December here. And when we do get it, you're like, oh, I can't, what's going on? It's like, look, this happened before, but nobody believes you because they don't see it with their own eyes. I think people forget whatever happens within 10 years, which is pretty terrifying. So, yeah, I mean, when I tell people there was a massive blackout in 77, I was alive for that too, and, the whole Eastern Seaboard was out and nobody believed me. And I said, there was riots. There was pretty scary times. I was only 7 years old, it's pretty terrifying, so stuff like that. I just remember like life events, I hate conspiracy theories that make up stuff, with like even 9/11, for example. I watched the towers go. I was there, it's like, knock it off. you're not clever. I hate just when people open their mouths and verbal diarrhea comes out, and I think that's the thing that gets on my last nerve. But sorry, I really can't answer that question. I have no idea.
And
Do
I don't have any 9/11 conspiracy theories. I don't buy into any of those, but like I do like a good conspiracy theory. I really do. That really.
But the thing
Clever.
is, you don't. You like them in the sense of like, wouldn't it be funny if that's true, but not like you believe.
I mean, there are a few that I believe,
Well,
but but not too many.
I mean, I believe skinwalkers exist, which is pretty
Oh,
weird.
do you? Okay.
Yeah. I think that there are some. I'm not a religious man by any means, but I am a spiritual man. I do believe that bad spirits can cause circumstances around people, and they can also cause bad energy around people. I had an absolutely frightening experience once where I was taken in by an ex-girlfriend who was a big believer in the spiritual, and she said, you need to bring a cigar. The woman smokes the cigar and reads your future in it. And I was like, whatever. It's a night out. We'll have fun. No big deal. The woman told me exactly what was going to happen for the next 3 years, like to a point where I was like, at first I was like, yeah, this is nonsense. And then it started happening exactly as she said, which was absolutely terrifying. I said, my ex-girlfriend, I said, no, I love her. She says, yeah, you're not going to be with her. And I was like, but I mean, she said 3 weeks. That's it. 3 weeks. That shit was over. It was cut and run. And then they said to me that my career would advance in 3 ways. And lo and behold, I worked. And mind you, I just took a nonsense job at the time. This was many years ago. And I was making $13 an hour. And then I got offered another job that paid me double that. And then I got a job that paid $100,000 a year. And I was like, it was exactly. And she said, you'll be living a life you normally never lived before. And I was living as the life of a luxury manager, where I was working on Madison Avenue, and I was, in suits all day long, and I had no idea what happened. But I was like, you know what? I go with the flow. I believe that you should never, ever stop energy of instinct. Like if you think that something in your gut is telling you it's correct, go with it, because it's usually correct, and that's when you make your mistakes. But yeah, I believe that there's energy out there. There's dark energy out there. And if you put that stuff out there, it will exist and it will haunt you.
I agree with that.
Only fences?
No, that is not a real thing.
My inside energy tells me that
It's stupid. It's stupid. No, I definitely believe like you shouldn't let bad stuff in, and you should, you attract the energy you put out. I absolutely believe that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I believe that I don't know what I did recently, but I did something that my energy completely changed because since BotCon, and it's weird that show is like, I made a plan to go out there deliberately to meet Susan and do what I had set out to do. And not only did I do that, I did it in droves to a point where I've gotten work. I've built a stronger, I guess you could say, brand. I've learned new ideas. I'm actually opening my own company based on it.
Cool.
It's been so amazing meeting great people like yourselves. It's been so amazing that I literally am scared because it's the first time that think about it, right? I'm in my 50s, even though I don't look it. But to suddenly see your career path open up wide after you accept good energy is a wonderful and terrifying thing.
Maybe that's.
But I'm ready for it. I can handle it. My mind is.
How do you accept good energy? What does that mean?
You just don't be such a little negative Nancy about everything, Robert.
I am just like a really grumpy old man at heart.
He
like
is
my
grumpy
soul.
Old man. You were born as the man that's in the driveway in the lawn chair telling kids to get off his lawn. Like that is you.
I
You
don't
were
know how to
born
not
that level.
be that though.
But
like my dream job. If somebody came to me tomorrow and was like, "Hey, I will give you a moderate salary. Doesn't even have to be substantial. And what you will do is wander around all day and give people meaningless citations."
He would love nothing more. He would be the parking. He would love to give out parking tickets. He would love to work for a homeowners association and measure people's grass. Like this man would love that job.
I hate rules,
though,
but I
that's
love
not
to make
negative.
other people follow them.
But here's the thing, though. What you're discussing, though, is not a negative thing. It's just simply a unfortunate part of society. He'll take the bullshit jobs that nobody wants because nobody likes you for it. That doesn't make you negative. What makes you negative is if you decide to use that, and say your life sucks because you do this and you want other people's lives to suck as well. That's a negative person. you know, I get with lots of negativity all the time. I have people trying to tear me down. I have, you know what they say, where it's like you have a lot of people who follow you on Instagram or TikTok, but they don't comment. And they're usually people who want to see you fall. And then when they see you rise, they try to tear you down behind the scenes.
Interesting.
I say bring it on, because frankly, if you want to do that, all you're doing is bringing more attention to me and my brand and what I'm trying to do. And I will never fall, no matter what you try to do to me. You know, you're only going to make me stronger. I feed off of that, and I turn that negativity into positivity. That's why, interesting story at the show. I don't know if I told you about this there at BotCon, but my next door neighbor was very negative. And at first she actually got to me a little bit. I was actually a little upset about it, because, you know, we were having this great vibe and we were all excited. We had such a good Friday. And then Saturday, she's like, you know, your music and the things you're doing are very loud. And it's messing up and I'm like, you're hiding behind a giant wall of product and you're not engaging with anybody. Who cares what you think? You're in a public space. And again, I saw myself getting wound up, and I'm going, this is exactly what she wants. So I reversed that energy back, put a big shit-eating grin on my face, and I focused on what was important, which was the people, because that's the reason why I'm there. I go there. I never sit. If you notice, when I go to a convention, I never sit down. You can sit down when you're done. You know, you're here for them. People paid a lot of money to do these shows. You better damn well be entertained by who's there. And if you're not, guess what? That's a crap show. And the people who go to the show and complain, you know, your energy is no good to me. You know, I will always stand up as a barrier to that and focus on what's good. So you can transfer that into good energy any way you want. You just learn to steal yourself from that nonsense, you know? Yeah, I sound like I'm preaching. Sorry.
No. Actually, I like what you're saying, because I don't know. I'm just like, how do we spin this off into like another conversation?
I know.
Like, that's not this one, because I'm like, you were saying things that I need to hear. No, how much can I pay you to like fix my problem?
Be a life coach.
Let's go back to the toy aspect of it. The reason why I ended up at BotCon in the first place is you and I both, I can't talk today. We all here agree that we love our fandoms. And the second that people start to use that as something negative, they're not doing it for the right reasons. So you'll notice that those people tend to fall on the wayside if you let them. They will find themselves, and that's where they don't want to be. They don't want to be alone. You know, they always want to be in that little, you know, space where they're negative. Well, I have no room for it. You know, and that's one of the reasons why we've connected, is because the energy was infectious. Everybody had a good vibe going on, you know, and there's always something good to be had that day. Can I tell you, my feet were killing me at that show. My body was exhausted. Okay. I had put everything out there. At the end of the day, you know, the girls asked me if I want to go out for dinner. I'm like, no, I want to go to sleep. You know, I'm done. It doesn't mean I'm any less, you know, positive or negative. It just means that everything I did there, I did for a reason. I did that with a focus and a goal, and I accomplished that goal. And that's something to be very proud of. You know, if I don't get published, or if I don't get like the big accolades, or if I don't get to be a big star, who cares? It's more about, does it make you happy? You know, and fandom like this, me playing with my stupid Starscream, makes me very happy. You know, people can tell you I was fondling a sunstreaker during the course of the show. I have personal issues. But it was one of those things that, you know, just playing with this stupid toy throughout the entirety of the show, if it brought just one smile to a face, that's all I needed to get through that show.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that's one of the things that I like the most about the nonsense that we do is, so there was something different about BotCon, and I still have not been able to figure it out.
Other than when we left, a lot of times when we go to a convention, we feel tired the next day. And so if it ends on a Sunday, like we'll take the following Monday off. And I mean, we had taken the time off because we still needed to drive back to Iowa from Chicago, but we felt energized after that. Like there was like a high coming out of that it wasn't like an exhaustion. I'm not sure I can put my finger on what that was.
Yeah. Like there was a different,
go ahead. I'm going to cut you off, Rob. I can tell you right now.
Do it.
The team that's doing it loves it. Like they don't just do it, they love it. You can tell they love it. You can tell the way they talk about it. The first day they came up to the team and said, all right, we're gonna have a scavenger hunt. I was like, what? What are we doing? And lo and behold, people came up to me and they were looking to get their jets, which I still have like 3 of these floating around here, you know, the jets they gave us at the show. But they did something different where, you know, you have Energon toss. They had games and puzzles, and they opened the quarters super wide because they wanted everybody to get a really good sense of what was around them. the energy is different because they believe in the people who are coming to the show and they believe in what they're doing. Other people do a show because we can run a show, we can do it good, blah, 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 and they don't have a plan. BotCon had a plan. BotCon had love. BotCon had the energy. Okay. Interestingly enough, I do TFCon. I like TFCon, but TFCon is narrow. It's smaller. It's compact, and it works. I do like the people that run it, but I feel that sometimes it feels a little bit more business-like than BotCon did.
Which is funny because BotCon, I don't know.
It supposedly has a more corporate vibe, but I did not get that.
I did not get. Yeah, I didn't get that.
No.
But
and I felt like
people love it.
there were more hangouts afterwards. Like people hung out in the lot. I mean, there were lots of little like places where people like congregated and grouped up in a way that was different.
Yeah. Like,
but in a good way.
I'm gonna try to say some things without
don't be negative.
We're not gonna be negative. But yeah, when we went to BotCon 2020 or TFCon in 2025, I feel like it was a little bit of a catastrophe, and that was the general consensus that a lot of people expressed. Like there were a lot of people that went actually to the wrap up panel and provided feedback, and it seemed like it was not taken into consideration. But I don't know. We'll see what happens in the future. But I don't know. Like I liked TFCon because TFCon was like the first like Transformers convention we went to, and it was, so it has a special place for me. But I'm like, I don't know. It just feels different.
BotCon was different.
It just feels different.
It was nice. It was very good.
So,
well, you could tell that. Now, again, I can only speak on what I've experienced, but if you're telling me that they got feedback in 2025, apparently they must have applied it, and that's the difference with people who love what they do. I did a show called East Coast Comic-Con. Unfortunately, it's gone, but it was going on for many years. I started as a spectator. I then came back as a cosplay judge because I knew about costumes, and then I was the host of the show, which was different, and they were listening to people. But the thing is that they trusted us to do what we needed to do to make people feel good about the show, and that's what made it successful. Unfortunately, the guy running it was a little too public about his opinions politically and otherwise, and so that kind of always causes problems. I think people need to keep that out of fun events. It has nothing to do there. But that's why BotCon feels apolitical. It feels open. Let me give you just a basic idea of why I enjoyed my BotCon. Very simple. When I arrived from the airport and I got drove in, not only was I able to get to my hotel, but they also checked me in early with no fee. They said, "Oh, let's just check you in." I got rooms with my friend Cheyenne, where we had adjacent rooms where we were right next to each other. Everything was very easy. There was no stress when I arrived to set up. It was easy. I had plenty of space to set up. My neighbors were wonderful. As you guys know, I'm talking with Mike and Tanisha a great deal now. I'm actually going to be doing some art for them as well in the future. And everybody who was there had a good vibe. And those who didn't, by the way, were the ones that were sort of outcast. There were people who were trying to overcharge on new figures, like Skywarp was $90. And I'm going, nobody's going to buy from you. And they didn't. They had a bad BotCon because those who were trying to take advantage clearly are going to cost. Of course, they're going to be that negative Nellies that we were talking about that'll talk shit about the show. But the ones that were doing right by people, like, what's the name of that company? And forgive me, I don't want to butcher the name. Alpha Toys, Alpha Energon Toys. They were the booth right in front when you first came in. They had a big booth there. Alex, who ran it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Good energy, great selection, proper pricing. He had to raise his prices ever so slightly by $5 because, he had travel and whatnot. Okay, no big deal. But $90, from 55 to 90, that's the difference between, the energy that was there. And you could find a good variety. Plus, we had people not only giving us stuff. When I said that I had been running around so much, a guy said to me, just hand me a bottle of water and said, "Here, you shouldn't be running around like that." People being so nice to me. And then, of course, meeting the talent, too. John Masachita, I always mess up his name, the guy who did Blur. Again, enjoyed telling his stories of old. Everybody was energized by what they were talking about. Travis Arts, who has also become a friend, the voice of Hot Rod, just came over and says, "I see you're selling Hot Rod. Would you like me to sign off some of these off for you?" I'm like,
"Oh, wow.
Yeah."
Fantastic.
That's crazy. That's cool.
That was BotCon. So if you have people who are actively looking to increase your experience, that's a show I'll go to every single day.
Yeah. Actually, that is one thing I did notice as well, is that the prices seemed much more much more reasonable for like a lot of the stuff. Like I picked up the dumb My Little Pony Optimus Prime that
Of
like
course you did.
was, I mean, I just happened to see it. Like you know, I didn't pick it up when it came out, but like it was pretty much almost retail like that he was selling it for. And I was like, I just saw this on eBay the other day for like 4 times. I didn't tell him I saw it for 4 times that, but like everything like I've seen it for recently is outrageous. And I also bought the DVD set for the Unicron trilogy from him too, because he had the whole set for like $90, which was like way cheaper than anywhere else. And so I mean, yeah, that's kind of one of my things too, is like if you want me to buy things, like I'll buy a lot from you if it's like reasonably priced.
Right.
But like if you are like overcharging, then like I'll just keep going. So like yeah, I don't know like how they
I don't know. That was
did their
good.
pricing, but they did it right. I think everybody had really good pricing on stuff. So
That was the thing that made me a little upset too, because I wasn't expecting the prices to be so reasonable. That I didn't bring money. But they never going to be so expensive I can't afford it. And everybody knows I've been wanting the Masterpiece Godgin Ray set, and it's like 300 plus online. And there was, again, Alpha Toys was selling it for 200, and I was like, and I said, all right, well, let me make some money at the show, and I'll come back. And of course, it was gone at that price, of course, so I missed my opportunity. But I think I was complaining because I got Perceptor, because it comes with 2 tapes. It comes with Ramhorn and Ratbat, and I needed Ratbat to finish my set. So of course I had to buy the stupid ass figure, but they lowered the price for me, which was very nice because I wouldn't have bought it otherwise. But that hurt. I was like, I don't want Perceptor. Stupid Perceptor.
what's wrong with Perceptor? He's great.
Stupid Perceptor.
Let's do maybe one more question
Don't tell
here
me
on the
what to
wheel.
do.
I will tell you.
You don't know
I
me.
will tell you. Yes, I do.
You
Yes.
can't own me.
I also, that is not true.
You do own me.
Oh, what topic are you totally obsessed with and can talk about forever?
Well, I mean, there's a few of them, of course. Transformers, of course, is one of them, especially the Japanese Transformers, because there's still a lot of people who still don't know about them. When I watch Master Force, even though the dubbing is pretty terrible, I'll send you straight to hell. Stuff like that. I found that I could look beyond it and see what they were trying to do in the world building. I don't know. I mean, for me, when I study something, I study it completely. So if I literally go through every part of something to learn about it and know when I should get in and get out of it. For example, cryptocurrency. During the pandemic, I studied that. I found it fascinating. And I realized that when Elon Musk was going to appear on Saturday Night Live, I should get right back out of it.
So I don't understand cryptocurrency, and I just think it's a scam. So sorry if anybody there's nothing about it that makes any sense to me. Like fiat currency alone doesn't really make that much sense to me because it's backed on the good faith of the government. The gold standard makes sense to me, but crypto absolutely makes no sense because it's not even tied to a government.
So we look at this figure, this Starscream figure that everybody wants. Okay, look at it. It's candy-like. You want it real bad.
Right.
But people are charging $125 for it for only one reason. It's an exclusive with Target. But here's the thing that people don't realize is that it's only an exclusive with Target in the United States. Everywhere else, it's actually actively available. And so it became a super inflamed market because of word of mouth. Okay. Oh, it's exclusive. It's exclusive. And now it's $125 online. That's how cryptocurrency works. Cryptocurrency is done by speculative market, meaning how exclusive is an item. And so I did a study on Dogecoin, and on TikTok, they were saying, oh, it's going to go to the moon. It's going to go to $1. It's going to do this. So everybody's talking about it. You buy when somebody talks about it, because when you buy, I took $400 and turned it to $6,000. And then I got the hell out of Dodge. I cashed it right back out again, and it dropped.
Right.
Okay. You wait for a moment that makes it very popular. You build up, and you wait to hear if something's going to happen that'll change the course of history. And then you get away from it. Now, if we take that same concept to Transformers again, this year, there's a big build-up to the 40th anniversary Apology Tour movie. Does that mean it's going to fall? No, of course not. But everybody's building up to this stuff, which is why all these nostalgic figures are going through the roof. Because here's the thing that people probably don't realize. They've released the Starscream as a Target exclusive. You really think that they won't have a general market version available as King Starscream soon? They're
Oh,
going
right.
to.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, but it's the manner that they're driving. They don't care that people, are pissed off because they can't get it. They care about supply and demand, and if they sell out because it's exclusive, they're going to sell it that way. As much as people complain, they're still going to buy it. So that's how you build a market. So I've studied these type of trends, and that's the stuff that I get obsessed about, watching trends and things and how they do well. It's one of the reasons why I've opened a business, because I've actually watched a few trends that I saw actually, again, at BotCon. So, I learned a lot from that show. I really did. And I've been to a lot of shows, but BotCon taught me a lot of lessons very quickly.
And
Can we ask about your business? Is it something you're talking about or not? You just mentioned it.
Don't ever ask me about my business. No. So as you guys know, I'm an illustrator, and I've been doing this for many years. But one of the problems is that getting my work out there has been tough. So my business does two things. For one, I rep artists. It's one of the reasons why I've started working a lot with collaborations with older artists that I've started working with. John Livesey's profile has raised considerably. All of a sudden, he's got moving title cards. I've been doing all that for him. So that's one part of my business, is that I bring better exposure to people who haven't had it. There was a young lady who's amazing, and I hope you follow her. Her name is Nitron Dusk. She was actually at BotCon. I helped give her a couple of tips about her booth. Suddenly, she doubled her profit margin on her booth. I come from a luxury background. I understand how things look a little bit more luxurious. My business is me developing a much larger creative share in the industry. I showed you stickers. Stickers don't cost much. But the thing is, though, is that you're getting my art for the first time in a sticker form, which makes it easier for a kid to get it. So I've just increased a new demographic. So now I have another area where I can sell to. But I'm also releasing a number of exclusive items like pins. Pins are a massive market. As you know, I do it for the charity. I raise money for the Fallen Officers Fund. And I will continue, even if I create my own product, which I'm going to show you guys an exclusive on here. Give me a second to grab it. And one of the reasons why it's important is because I didn't realize I can fabricate my own pins. So this is the first one. And as you can see, there's Tarn.
That's so cool.
Here's the best part about it. He's completely free. Anybody comes visit me in my booth at TFCon will get one for free. All you have to do is follow me on social media. And by getting this on for free, I will then offer two more exclusives. One I can't talk about yet because, again, the partnership is going through, but there's a little indication of it with me and Tony Daniels. We did do a video together. Tony Daniels is the voice of Drift. Put two and two together. I'm an illustrator. He's the voice of the character. Okay. And we will be offering something unique that's never been done before, a signature series, as it were.
Oh,
nice.
Okay. Item number 2 is something that everybody wants. And I was so stupid I didn't realize I could make it. And when you see it and you see the advertisement for it, you will want it too. That's how
sounds like
arrogant I am.
Sounds like we need to go to TFCon.
I know. We've been contemplating it. We may do it.
You'll take your My Little Pony Optimus and throw it away just so you can get this.
I would.
No.
You sold me on it already. I'd buy it right now.
Sadly, I can show it to you off camera, but I can't show it to you on camera yet because it's still in the. We have a number of things in developmental stages. I'm getting a lot of stuff from our factories, which I've had relationships. Again, I've been doing business for so long. Why haven't I done business for myself? So now I'm actually opening up my own factories out in China and different places to distribute.
Nice.
And so as we go forward, we're creating stuff that people actually want.
Very
That's
cool.
exciting.
Sorry to be so nebulous about it, but that's all I can say.
No.
No. Like, I get it. Like,
You will get one of these for free. I'm going to send this to you guys, of course.
Oh, well, that's very nice of you. So
I'll send you two if you're nice.
very cool. Do we want to
say we'll wear one and put one on eBay for $500?
So let's do some salmon here in the chat here of all the links. I know we've got yes.
Yeah.
Because normally you do that a couple times by now.
Oh, that's when I started doing the QR code.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's there the whole time, but I will put them in the chat.
Well, Dan, if you have not, again, if people are not following you, and what's your pitch? Where should they follow you? Where should they stay up to date and all the good things that you're doing?
Well, there's always two places to find me, and I always break it down this way. Although I've been so busy, I've been a little bit negligent. But Instagram, I've been very active because that's the best place to network, hands down. It's always been a place where all creatives come together, even though Meta's doing everything they can possible to overload it with ads. I still find that I get more of my social commentary across to people when it comes to the field that we love, which is either Transformers or art. And so my name on there is Dan the Man _official. Very easy to remember. I am a blue check mark. Funny enough, I'm a blue check mark for my poker background. But go figure, and I'm also on TikTok as just Dan Gottlieb. TikTok, I do my social commentary where I talk about the jobs market and situations that affect people day to day. And occasionally I put up my show appearances. This year I have this weekend, actually, I'm doing LI Tropic Con out in Hauppauge in Long Island. I'm doing on the 29th Super Jersey Comic Con, which, just to give these guys a lot of props, that show's amazing. Super Jersey is run extremely well, and they focus mostly on indie professionals, so it's more about the comic book creators. And then I do Tucson Comic Con, which, as I mentioned before, our Batman is now an exclusive for that show. So that's pretty huge. And that's going to be the 4th, 5th, and 6th of September. And then I have two more. I have, I have Saratoga. I just got signed up for on the 21st of November. Excuse me. I'm sorry. And TFCon in October, 23rd. There's so many shows. I lose track. But TFCon Orlando, and Saratoga and Extravacon, and then I'll take a small break. But next year, I hope to see you guys out in Des Moines for that con out there, as well as doing Awesome Con, which is one of the best shows on the East Coast, and of course BotCon.
So I think you are also our first guest that we've had on Topless Toy Talk that is going to take us up on our offer of staying in our guest room. So I'm super excited about hosting you.
Lock down your toys because you might go missing.
I mean, I can only hope as you come down. It's one of my favorite things to do when people come over, is because this is all in our basement, is to have people come down the stairs, come in the basement, and they're just like, that is the normal action is like, oh my God, what is this?
We should set up like a camera just like right in the doorway when people come over.
Like weird. Yes.
Yeah.
That'd be a good video series to throw on the internet.
Well, like I said, you've never seen my collection, so
Well, wonderful. Well, thank you. Yes, thank you. Well, thank you for joining us. We appreciate everybody joining us here tonight. We will see you next Tuesday.
And tell your mom I said hi.